All right, quick question. If a law is supposed to protect kids, but it actually makes the market more unsafe, pushes people into the black market, and protects criminals, does that law really protect children, or does it just sound good for a press release? And in a minute, I'm going to prove why banning intoxicating hemp products in November of 2026 actually makes the consumer safety problem worse, not better. Because Congress is on track to nuke the entire intoxicating hemp industry by November 2026, and the reasoning is always the same. Think of the kids. And I know you might be thinking, oh, this guy's got a stern tone of voice. He definitely is biased and is siding with the hemp industry. But if you wait till the end of this video, I'm going to say a lot of things that are going to piss off both sides, the hemp industry and regulators. And I'll start with this. Some hemp products are unsafe and children do have access to them, but banning the entire industry is like burning your house down because you saw a spider. And here's the crazy part. The fix to actually stop children from accessing hemp products is the simplest, cheapest thing ever, and it already exists in a different industry that I will explain to you in just a second. I'm in Illinois, so I emailed Senator Julie Morrison about this issue, and she basically said, kids have access to dangerous chemicals like Delta-8, so we don't want it on the market. And listen, I don't even disagree with her concern, because youth access matters, contaminants matter, synthetic converted cannabinoids are a real issue, which I'll get into later in this video. My problem is that banning the entire category doesn't actually fix the points of failure. It just moves those problems into somewhere darker. So I sent Julie Morrison a memo that holds your hand, walks you past the smoking dumpster fire that is the unregulated hemp industry, and brings you to the promised land. A promised land that would look amazing on a press release and is a regulator's dream. It's everything that they would want out of a adult restricted industry, and it is modeled after the alcohol, tobacco, and regulated cannabis industries. So if you're a regulator, pay attention, because I have 8 years in the hemp industry supply chain, and this is going to be some very valuable insight for you that you have not heard anywhere else. If you're a consumer, wait till the end of this video, and I'm going to explain to you how you can use this video and send it to your local regulators to help this cause. Firstly, let's talk about how children access hemp products. Problem: minors buy THCA online through mail order. So let's start with the number one way children access hemp products. It's not through dispensaries, and it's not through smoke shops. It's actually through online vendors that sell this stuff direct to consumer through the mail. A teen can basically click a little checkbox that says, yes, I'm 21, when really they're not. And then they use a debit card that was either given to them through a joint bank account that they have with a parent or a guardian, or they can even buy a gift card used with their allowance money and then purchase this stuff. Websites usually don't really do anything else to check. And that's why we're getting viral stories like this. My 13-year-old ordered THCA online and got it shipped to my house. And then the comments are basically becoming a civil war. They're saying, oh, well, it's the parents' fault that they didn't check on their kid on what they're doing with their debit card and stuff. And then the other side says, just ban it. They shouldn't be allowed to sell those products online anyways. So I'm going to take the boring adult middle ground. Fix the system and don't pretend the problem doesn't exist. Children can absolutely buy these products online with almost zero friction. And yes, this is where I'm going to piss off both sides, because I'm not saying ban everything, and I'm also not going off of plausible deniability of, oh, you have a debit card, you must be of age. I hope they don't lie. I'll just operate off the honor system in preventing underage orders. But here's the actual fix. Know your customer age verification software plus adult signature delivery. That's the fix, and it's not complicated. Simply copy the model that they use in the tobacco and nicotine vape industry, also known as the PACT Act. That system requires age verification using a commercially available database, and it also requires adult signature with proof of age at delivery. It already exists in the tobacco industry. It's called the PACT Act. So if lawmakers are serious when they say think of the kids, well, here's your answer. Know your customer age verification software, adult signature upon delivery with proof of ID. USPS and UPS already have these services. That's the simplest and most obvious fix. And before anyone acts like this is some impossible burden to implement, let me tell you the real part. Age verification software is very cheap. It costs about a couple $100 a month. And adult signature shipping only costs an extra $5 to $10 a shipment, and that cost can be easily passed on to the customer. Is it slightly inconvenient? Yes. Is it difficult to implement? No. And if any company doesn't want to implement those changes, fine them, put them out of business, revoke their business license. Because that is just the first way minors get access to hemp products. And there's actually a second way, and this way is even more revealing. Problem: minors get it through straw purchases. So minors can actually access hemp products if they get it through an older sibling, maybe some sort of adult that they convince to go into the store, buy the product, and then give it to the minor. And here's the important part. That problem already exists with alcohol, tobacco, and regulated marijuana dispensaries. So what do we do there? We do secret shoppers, ID checks, penalties and fines, criminal charges if they're repeat offenders. Same exact playbook that we do in other industries. So now that we've dealt with mail order, we've dealt with straw purchases, let's move on to the actual packaging that appeals to kids. Problem: packaging with cartoons and food brand lookalikes that appeals to children. And just to be clear, I actually agree with regulators that this is a problem in our industry. We don't need food brands that say Doritos and Oreos and have cartoon characters on our cannabis products. That's not a free speech issue or a Karen issue. That's just an issue of let's not make products that kids would think are real food and then they consume them and end up with psychosis or in the hospital. Children's bodies are not built to handle THC products. So here's the simple fix: ban it. Solution: ban lookalike packaging plus cartoons. Massive fines. Basically ban packaging that imitates major food or candy brands. If it uses any cartoons or marketing that's designed to attract minors, get rid of it. We don't need to reinvent the wheel here because the marijuana regulated industry already has a complete playbook around this, banning child appealing packaging. And here's how you actually enforce it without playing games. If a store sells it, massive fine. If they don't say who their distributor is, triple the fine. Fine the distributor. If the distributor doesn't say who the producer is, triple the fine. Then you go up to the producer, fine them as well, and put them out of business and enforce the law. Criminal charges. That's how you eliminate kid-appealing trash quickly. You force traceability with massive fines. And now I'm going to show you the real issue. This is what regulators should be targeting instead of banning the entire category. Problem: synthetically converted cannabinoids are the real risk. Now let's talk about the part where I really resonate with regulators. The sketchiest safety risk in the hemp industry is synthetically converted cannabinoids like Delta-8, Delta-10, HHC, and other similar ones made by converting CBD into other cannabinoids using chemistry. The issue isn't that synthetic products are bad. If you look at energy drinks, those are all made with synthetic caffeine. Most people drink those and they don't really have many visible problems. So the real issue isn't that the product is synthetic. The real issue is that there's no standardized, authoritative SOP to create these cannabinoids. There can be residual reagents, byproducts, and contaminants as a result of this chemistry process, and standard cannabis tests don't actually test for these byproducts unless you specifically know what to look for. A lot of these byproducts, we don't even know what is being created. So how do we protect consumers while also not stifling innovation in the cannabis industry? Solution: pause or restrict synthetically converted cannabinoids until there is a clear SOP and testing guidelines put in place by an authoritative governmental body. Then reintroduce them under an actual framework. More research needs to be made on these cannabinoids, and the byproducts created as a result of the chemistry to create these cannabinoids also needs to be studied. Once an authoritative governmental body can create a framework for these cannabinoids, then we could reintroduce them into the market. For now, let's just put a pause on it. That's a very reasonable solution. So that's the real chemical risk target. That completely addresses the dangerous chemicals talking point without banning everything. And now we move on to safety testing for natural cannabinoids like THCA. And I'm going to give you the actual cost because it's a lot cheaper than people think. Problem: hemp products with pesticides, residual solvents, heavy metals, or mold. So these are the 4 categories that actually deem a product unsafe. So we obviously don't want anyone ingesting any of those things. In the hemp industry, there are currently no requirements to test for any of those 4 fields. only the potency. So what do we do about it? Solution: full panel lab testing per finished SKU. So now we move on to natural cannabinoids, CBDA, CBGA, and THCA flower. These are natural agricultural products. Once again, the risks are here that you'd expect: pesticides, mold, heavy metals, and if it's an extracted product, residual solvents that have not been purged from the product. So what do? We do exactly what the regulated marijuana industry does: full panel lab testing. And again, this is where I need people to stop pretending that this is impossible to implement. Full panel lab testing is not some crazy $50,000 expense. If you test all 4 categories, that puts the cost at $300 to $400 per finished SKU. Inconvenient? Yes. Doable? Yes. Worth it for consumer safety? Also yes. So now what we've solved is minors accessing THCA online, straw purchases, packaging that appeals to minors, we've targeted synthetics, and we've also made natural cannabinoid products testable. And we've done all of this without nuking the entire industry. If you're a regulator watching this and you're thinking, oh, that all sounds great, but I still really want to go through with the ban, the easiest solution to protect consumers is just to ban it all. Let's just get it over with. But I have to warn you, because banning hemp has very unintended consequences that actually make children and consumers even less safe than they are now. Ban hemp, black market wins. If hemp gets banned in November of 2026, the demand doesn't just go away. People don't sit around going, oh, darn it, I guess I'll just meditate now to replace my weed. No, the demand is going to stay. So consumers get pushed into 2 buckets: dispensaries and the black market. Especially in states like Texas where regulated marijuana doesn't exist, the black market is the default. That means no age verification, no safety testing, no company to sue if someone gets sick or if they sell to your child, and no accountability whatsoever. You're not dealing with a company anymore, you're dealing with a dealer, and dealers don't follow the rules. And here's the kicker: banning hemp doesn't protect kids. Banning hemp removes the only place you can actually enforce accountability, safety testing, age verification, adult signature, and traceability at scale. Because the black market doesn't card you. The black market doesn't do COAs. The black market doesn't recall product if it's no longer safe to consume. So if your reason for banning hemp is think of the kids, but your policy actually forces the market into the hands of people who don't care about kids at all, your prerogative is not child protection, it's PR image protection. And that's the proof. Banning hemp sounds like safety, but it actually makes safety even worse in the real world. And now I'm going to show you who actually wins if hemp gets banned in 2026. And it's not the consumer or the general public. Problem: ban hemp, small businesses die. Now, business consequences. Small businesses die. Farmers lose their livelihoods. Brands disappear overnight. Therefore, consumers get forced into higher priced channels like dispensaries, and these price gaps actually fuel the illicit market. This is basic economics. The only businesses left are the ones that can survive the regulatory moat. Big players, venture capital, politically connected players, all within the regulated cannabis industry. And in places like Illinois, the barrier to entry is actually insane. Build-outs for a dispensary can cost up to $1 million before you're even operational, and grows can cost in the multiple millions, and that's even before licensing fees and lawyer fees. That makes becoming a compliant business physically impossible for 99% of the population. Hemp has been the one and only way regular people can participate in the cannabis industry without venture capital. So if lawmakers and regulators want to reject the reasonable middle ground framework that I just laid out, then call it what it is. Gatekeeping and classism is what you stand for. So the winners of this ban are the black market and the venture capitalists and the top 1% of the population that already has access to the licenses and the money. Regular consumers and small businesses lose. And this sets up my main question I want to ask to every regulator watching this video, because that's the point of this entire video. My question: is this framework good enough? If my solutions are not good enough, please tell me why. I can probably come up with an answer for you. If you're a consumer, a business owner, or someone that just wants sane policy, send this video to your representative. Because what I'm proposing is not radical. It's the minimum viable adult safety protocol. Age verification software for online orders. Adult signature at the point of delivery. Full panel safety testing. Pause or restrict synthetic cannabinoid conversion products until a framework is established. Ban packaging that appeals to children. And if a lawmaker says no to all of that I just said, their goal is not safety. Their goal is a ban. And a ban doesn't get rid of demand. It just outsources the demand to criminals. So my question still remains, is this framework good enough? If the answer is still no, then just admit that the goal is not safety. If you're a regulator and you do like what I'm talking about and you need help turning all of these frameworks into real legislative language, I'm not a professional lobbyist, but I can refer you to someone who is. JD McCormick is the president of myhealthyusa.org. He is the top cannabis policy lobbyist, in my opinion, and shares very similar views on all of these issues in the hemp industry, just like I do. And remember that the middle ground is the only pragmatic way we can actually protect kids and protect consumers.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to show you how you can actually send this video to your state congressmen and women in order to reverse this hemp ban. So first thing you're gonna do is head over to myhealthyusa.org, and basically you're gonna see this little section here to compose a message to your US senators and representatives. So it's just an automatic email. It's super easy to do. So you're just gonna fill out all this information and then send the message here. You can also sign up for emails from this lobbyist group here called American Healthy Alternatives Association. The president is JD McCormick, very cool guy. I have his number personally, and he's just a proponent of saving the hemp industry. So you can look him up if you want. Once you actually email your representatives, what you're gonna get is an email that looks like this. They probably just send this to everybody that emails them, because we're sending them an auto response, so they're gonna send us an auto response. They're gonna say, oh, you know, there's dangerous chemicals such as Delta 8 and dangerous to minors and all this stuff. So what you can do is respond to this email that you get with the video that you're watching right now. So you can actually respond to that email with the video link that you're watching right now and say, hey, well, here's the actual solution to the minor access problem. Here's the actual solution. What do you think about that? And then my video just is going to break it down for them and then see what they say. I'm curious to see what results you get. Let me know. Feel free to leave a comment on this video of what your state representative said after you sent them this video. Please let me know, because this is our one chance at having federal legalization through the means of the 2018 Farm Bill. It's really a shame that they would try to ban it because of all the reasons I've listed in this video. So thank you for watching this, and thank you so much for sending this email and this video to your representatives, and I hope you have a great day.